I'm dressed in a bee suit. A bee suit is a protective equipment in case you are going to work on bees, and it protects you against bee stings. So it has to be khaki material because a sting is too lobed. If you don't have khaki material, a sting will go through, and it has to be oversized. So you have to be inside, like I'm trying to demonstrate, and then you zip up here, then up, then here you close, and then you attach. There are some attachments here. There you are safe, bees cannot sting you. Then don't forget to put on the gum boots. And then you have the big gloves. The big gloves are worn also, they help you, they are plastic. A sting cannot go through. You continue working safely. We have more equipment. We have the bee smoker. The bee smoker helps you to calm the bees down, because the bees communicate by pheromones. And when you are using smoke, it should be cool smoke, white shoot, that will cool down the bees. It breaks the strength of the pheromone, because bees don't talk. So you can use cow dung, dry cow dung. You can use hessian. You can use pine needles or pine leaves or wood shavings. So you light with red charcoal or a matchbox, and then you start puffing. Air will enter, will come from the smoker bellow, then through the air inlet into the firebox. As you puff, air is coming out like this, and then you cover when it is lit. Remember, you are putting on now protective equipment like I demonstrated. And then you are safe to work on bees, but gently. Though you have a smoker and a bee suit, you have to remain working gently with bees. We have Hive Tool. This Hive Tool helps you to manipulate the hive. For example, if this is our top bar and it is propolized, there is that sticky material we shall see. The Hive Tool helps you to break the hard pans or propolis that is in the hive. It is a simple tool and you cannot avoid it when you are working on bees. How it is used? This shape, they help you to manipulate. For example, this edge will help you to cut propolis like this to separate top bars or frames. And then this sharp end, you can scrap something. And then this side, the end side, if you're working on the Langstroth to lift frames, it is very simple. If this is another frame, you enter it like this and lift. So that's why it is in a funny shape. It is multi-purpose. So it helps you to move frames or top bars in the hive as you work. You lift like this using Hive Tool, and then you return depending on what you're doing in the hive. Then we have another equipment, the bee brush. It has small bristles which are soft. You're working on bees, you need a bee brush to brush off the bees on the sides you don't want them to be. Even on your hand, you can brush off the bees. There are very many modifications. We have this, is also a bee brush with the little bristles to brush off the bees from the comb, from the hive body, or from yourself on the hand. Then we have another equipment. This is called a harvesting knife, an important tool Of course, it is used to harvest combs, to cut the combs away. If I can demonstrate, if our comb is suspending here, you have to cut it and leave about 3 centimeters. You cut it like this after brushing off the bees, and then it will drop in the bucket. So it is an important tool in case you are going to do honey harvesting for all hives except Langstroth, because with the Langstroth hive you don't cut out the comb. We are continuing. This is our equipment called the Pollen Trap. Pollen is another bee product. We harvest from the bees, and how we set it, this is a collecting tray, and these are entrance holes. So you set it on the front of the hive. The bees will try to go through. They will try to go through the holes, but a worker bee is allowed to go through these holes when it is not having a pollen load. When it has a pollen load, then it will not go through with it. The pollen load will be brushed off by the small entrance, then it will drop on the mesh, and then later in the tray. So this is how we collect propolis with a pollen trap. If you try to see the sides, this is where the worker bee will try to go through. It can only go through without a pollen load. We have more equipment. This is called a queen cage, a queen catcher. The queen catcher is very important if you are observing a queen for any purpose. You want to see whether it has good wings, you want to dequeen, or you have any experiment you are doing. So in case a queen is observed, let us say this is a comb, then you have to spot it very well. You open it by pressing this back side, it opens, then you spot it and catch it. So you are able to observe, and you can even confine it for anything you want to observe on the queen. We have, this is called an uncapping tray. Uncapping tray is one of the equipments we use in honey processing. So if you have a Langstroth hive, we know you get a super, you brush off the bees, and then you are in a processing unit. You have, this is a frame, we assume. It has comb all around here, and we know a comb has 2 sides, this side and this side. So it is sealed, and then you have to uncap because you are interested in getting the honey liquid. So you uncap using uncapping fork. You uncap this side gently, but it has to be standing here. You uncap very well. Also you turn and uncap this way. And then the frame is set to go into a honey extractor for the case of Langstroth. But the tray has a stand where a frame sits. It has a sieve, and then it has a real collecting tray at the bottom. Because when you're uncapping, some honey is spilling, and then it is not supposed to go on the floor in the processing room. So this is our tray. Now, after uncapping several frames, you carry the frame, you put it in the manual honey extractor. We are using a 3 frame today, and then it is put inside 1 frame. You get the second one, the third one. So then you cover. After covering, there are now frames inside. We are going to spin. Why it is called the centrifugal? Because it uses the centrifugal force to spin.
Okay.
So you fix more here, another frame here, another frame here. Thereafter, you are set to go to spin, because this system uses centrifugal force that will spin the honey on the sides. So you cover because you are ready to spin. You go to the handle and then you spin. It is moving at a high speed. If I can check for you inside, honey will be speeding on the sides. After like 2 minutes, you stop it and then you turn the other way around. Because when you're spinning, the side which is close to the side plates is the one that will get honey off. So you have to turn the other side also. Been spinning this side, honey has been off this side, so you have to turn the other side of the frame and also engage the extractor. You have to change for all the frames. You change frame, a frame and a frame. Then you cover again, you engage for the last time. It has a pulley system that you have to connect and it spins. It is moving at a high speed. So after extracting the honey from the frames, then they are removed and placed back in a super of the Langstroth hive, and then the super is taken back to the hive, and then the bees will feel more. This is the advantage of using the Langstroth hive. In the processing unit, you always have a bucket around you, and mind you, our extractor has a tank where honey has collected and there is a tap. When you're spinning, the tap is always closed. When you feel the machine is not moving very well, then you have to open the tap, turn it anti-clockwise, and then you lift. Honey will be dripping through because there are some particles that have broken from the comb. They will be flowing here. Then we are using a double stainless sieve to sieve out the bigger particles, the smaller ones. And then we also have a double strainer cloth for our honey to be fine. And then honey will be collected in the bucket. It can be stored at this time after extracting. The cover is placed on top of the bucket waiting for the honey to settle. It will be having air bubbles, what we call scum, and some other impurities that will settle on top. They can be removed. There, honey can be kept for like 1 week, and then it can be taken to the settling tank.
Uganda, the land of sunshine. Breathtaking, stunning sights, incredibly extensive large greenery. Variety of wild animals and bird species.
me drink one for the road. Let me drink one for the road. Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Whoa.
Every little thing I do it for you. In every little song I sing it for you.
We have seen how to use an extractor. Now we want to see how to use a honey press. Honey press has handles and then it has a screw. And then it has the pressing unit. Then it has holes for honey escape. And then it has a honey outlet. Now, when we are using the honey press, we have got combs from the local hives or from the KTB, the Kenya Top Bar Hive. And we sort our honey, like you see, if we are processing. This we are going to sort. We remove the bees, we remove the dark combs, and we remain with only one grade. Dark combs should be processed alone and white combs processed alone. To maintain the quality, we remove the dead bees, the grass if any, and any other impurity. So honey will be ready for processing. You get the combs, remove the plate, and then we put our combs here. After placing the combs halfway, then you bring back the plate, the pressing plate, insert it inside. It will already be pressing the honey. And then you bring the screw to press the honey. As you are screwing, part of it is entering inside and it will be pressing the honey. So the honey will be coming out of the comb because there is a plate and the screw is also engaged. So honey will be coming out, and there you have to put equipment for sieving the honey that is coming out as you press. So it becomes harder when you continue pressing because most of the honey is coming out. So at the end, you stop, and then honey has collected here. It has gone through a double strainer, the sieve, and then you can also use a conical sieve, depending on the equipment you have. The conical sieve has fine holes compared to the double. So that's why we are using two to come out with the best quality of honey. So this bucket can be closed if you don't have many equipment. The honey will settle here and the foam will come on top, what we call scum for honey, the air bubbles, then it can be collected. If you have more equipment, honey can be carried from here and then put in the settling tank. You fill the jar, but before it gets full, of course we have to put only 500 grams to be very. Then you have to use a weighing scale to determine the weight. If the honey is there, it should be able to weigh 500 grams. So when it is 500 grams, you remove it and then get the second jar. You do the same. It reaches around here, you have to put on the weighing scale and then measure. It should be 500 grams to maintain the quality of our products. in the market. After, this is the point of labeling, where we put our label on the jar, having all the information of the project, country of origin, the address where it is coming from, best before. It has all the nutritive value. We do label our product. Make sure the label is put properly, because labeling is important. Here our honey is labeled, and then it is ready to go to the market. But before packaging, if you think the honey is not good quality, we can first check the moisture content of our honey, and we use a honey refractometer. This is the equipment which has a glass slide where honey is dropped using a dropper, and then inside there is a scale. If the moisture content is below 17, then crystallization will occur. So normal honey is supposed to be between 17 and 19% of water, and the scale is inside. Once those are confirmed, go on with the packaging. After this, if you have any safety seal you want to put, this is our machine for sealing. It has levels 1, it has up to 2, and then it is engaged. It runs, it has some heat it produces, and then the seal will be fastened on the container to maintain the quality. Beeswax is important in beekeeping. It is used as a bait for our bees to attract bees in the hive. We use it in pharmaceuticals to make surgical threads, and also in cosmetology. It is mixed in cosmetics. But also we are making lip balm, as we shall see. Then also candles. The wax is different color because there are certain chemicals, the monoesters and the triesters. When they stay more in the environment, it changes the color, like you can see. But also the color changes depending on the color of the comb. Dark combs cannot give you yellow wax. It has to be a little bit changed. But white ones will give you a nice color, which is yellow. So, and when you are processing, white combs will give you more beeswax. Dark combs will give you less beeswax. This is our honey. We have processed, and it is ready for sale.
Agriculture has been for years forming the backbone of Uganda's economy, contributing approximately 37% of local growth, with 80% of the population practicing agriculture. Join us every Wednesday as we showcase comprehended and well-researched episodes on agriculture, on the new innovations, planting, harvesting, modern technologies, and more you would like to know in the farming field. Farm Matters, a program where all your farming needs are addressed.